God has given us such a beautiful story together. The thing that really has jumped out in my mind has been the road that we have walked.
I grew up in the faith and just a time where God just revealed himself to me at a very young age, and he started putting dreams and visions inside of me of just, I guess for me it was impacting many, many people, but I always knew that there was like a silhouette of my husband alongside of me, like we were together.
I go back, and I grew up with a split family home. Our family didn't make it, and there was a lot of pain and hurt. It led to even some other decisions that I'm not really proud of. And for me, going back to that road, I look at the pain and the journey it put me on as an individual, and it really led to a fateful night, which was May 10th, 1999. I ended up at a church I wasn't supposed to be at. She ended up at her church that she grew up at that she wasn't supposed to be at that night. Little did I know that there was so much power in the bigger picture of the decision I would make that night. I gave my life, surrendered it to Jesus Christ. I think we didn't realize the power of us even seeing each other that night. But God had a plan. And in time, it was amazing. God turned a friendship really into a bigger relationship. And before we knew it, we were married. We started our journey. God, what do you want to do? We thought immediately there would be lots of increase, lots of people to influence, lots of resources. And almost it started like a Joseph time. We started to travel the road of faithfulness. God was allowing us in this journey because he was preparing us for a bigger plan. I just value what God's done with us, and then I think about my wife and then how she grew up, and God's had a plan for her and given her things in her heart.
As I reflect on that, that's, the faithful road that God has been accomplishing that. And
the road of faithfulness also did this. Instead of just getting promoted and being so focused on ministry, I think we've learned to focus on God and to focus on what matters most, our marriage and our family. Right now, more than ever, we're conscious of walking this road. We're pouring our hearts out like we never have, but there's a new intimacy. And as we've walked, we've entered a new season. And God, as we've walked and as we've prayed, God is saying something new. It's time. It's time for fulfillment of the plan and the destiny. And that's what I love, because sometimes you feel lost. You feel like you're in the wilderness. You feel like it's never going to happen. But God in the whole time is preparing you. He's drawing you closer to himself. We felt so strongly that God had brought us through about a year and a half of just soul searching again. And we knew what God was doing. He was calling us forth to make a decision of faith. God, you're not going to call us to leave or let go of this. It's exactly what God was calling us to do. And we made a decision by faith, not knowing, not having anything in place. We said, okay, God, we stepped towards God. And we felt like it was a picture of the priests carrying the ark into the Jordan River when they went to take the promised land. The waters didn't open first. They stepped into the water first, and then the waters opened, and that's what we've been seeing happening. Encounter More was born. And it's this idea that there's been this stirring of more, and it's not just our story, it's everybody's story. But it's this idea of this divine encounter, intimacy with God. He makes you who you are, and he defines that if we'll let him, if we'll partner with him, if we won't give up in the Joseph time.
we're just like, we're on our face daily seeking God and just saying, God, what do you want to do? And
it has begun a wild journey. God's been confirming himself. We've been partners in crime or partners in ministry. We're making decisions together. It's not easy. We feel stressful. You know, you go up in a new season and there's a new weight. But once again, with the new weight comes new intimacy with God, and that's where we're keeping our hearts focused.
And I feel like in this road that we've walked, that God has just shown himself so faithful in our lives individually and as a couple and in our family. For us, it was just like there was always this like bleeding desire that we would be running together and running as a family, and just not only would we experience that, but that many other people would experience that same passion and desire, and know that that's attainable. And to walk not just in his destiny, but in a relationship with him is attainable. We're just excited. We are so excited to be a part of this. It's an awesome ride, and every day is a day of excitement, honestly, to just watch God move.
This is the faithful road that God has brought us on, and we're seeing lives change because of it. I'm Greg Mulchon.
I'm Leah Mulchon.
And this is the story of Encounter More Ministries.